Annie, you're just in time for your solo.
Bah! Don't you bar me, you cows.
Hey, what in thunder's going on here?
We don't want her taking part in our show. Why she's a sheeper. Sure I am, and I'm proud of it.
Now, this robbery's got to stop. I'm not going to have Roy's homecoming spoiled.
Sheriff, this affair is sponsored by the Cattlemen's Association. I don't think we should permit any member of the Winters family or any other sheeper to take part in it under the circumstances.
Under what circumstances, Mr. Marsh? We Winters have lived in Duane a good many years, and we've contributed more than our share in building up this town.
You're darn right, Laramie. You folks are respected here, and sheep raising or no sheep raising, your father was one of the finest fellas I ever met.
Well, we all respected Dave Winters. He could make the sheepers behave like law-abiding citizens. But apparently his daughter lacks that ability.
You know as well as I do that you ranchers are responsible for the trouble we've been having here lately.
Now, stop it, the both of you. I'm going to have peace and quiet if I have to shoot somebody to get it.
Well, then you better remove Penny Winters from this program. Why, even the children share our resentment against the Winters family.
Oh, but I just got to be here to help welcome Roy back home. Never mind, honey. We don't want to get mixed up with the antics of a lot of stupid cattlemen. Come on.
Oh, darn it, there goes my best soprano.
Well, we can do without her. I'm sure Roy doesn't want any sheepers on the welcoming committee.
The less I hear of that singing cowboy, the better I'll like it.
Well, I suppose you're right. It wouldn't be safe for us at the broadcast.
What do you mean?
Well, with all those cattlemen in the audience, it might be dangerous for us.
Oh, really? Well, the cattleman who can frighten me away from any show hasn't been born yet. But if you do as much as this, after that Roy Rogers sings, I'll make you stay home from the movies Saturday.
Yes, Laramie.
Well, I guess we'll be going along, Miss Laramie. I'll take a good look at the feed on the West Range.
All right, Slade, I'll see you tomorrow.
So long.
Look it! It's him! It's Roy!
Here it is, Mr. Davis, my old hometown.
Well, it looks like a nice place to come from.
When you hear the send-off we get this evening, you'll change your mind.
Hi, Roy!
That's the prettiest filly I ever seen in this neck of the woods. That's Laramie Winters. What? Hello, Laramie. Judging by her expression, she don't think much of you.
Sheriff Darcy, you old gun-toting limb of the law, how are you?
I'm fine.
My first sponsor.
Roy!
Well, Adobe Joe, how you doing? Golly, Roy, it sure is a treat to have you back home again.
You might have known that old polecat would horn in sooner or later.
Say, you two, isn't it about time you forgot that old feud? How's my old boss? Still right in there pitching. Now, you know you can't run that old broken-down ranch without me. Listen, Pruner, when you was punching cows on my outfit, I didn't have nothing but an old adobe shack.
What do you got now?
An old adobe shack? Listen here,
I'll have you back with us, Rogers.
Oh, thanks. Marsh, isn't it? Victor Marsh?
Yes, Vic's a big shot now. He's president of the Cattlemen's Association and vice president of the bank over there.
And chairman of the Roy Rogers Welcoming Committee. Town is yours, Roy. Everybody's looking forward to the broadcast tonight.
Well, it sure is a good feeling to see all the folks turn out like this.
Well, Roy, I guess I better turn you over to the Hungry Wolf.
I'll see you at the hotel tonight.
Okay.
Are you all set? Yes. She won't be looking for us until tomorrow.
All right. After it gets dark, I want you to tear out all the fence on the east side of her property. Drive every band of sheep she has out on the cattle range. I sold the ranchers the idea to be watching. And when they see it, there'll be trouble aplenty.
Yeah, that's about the way we figured it. Come on, Barker. Sheep. They'll overrun our grazing land.
We'd better get back to town and tell Mr. Marsh what's happened.
Either of you guys recognized by the sheepers?
Not a chance. It was too dark.
Good. Having you on the Winters ranch is too good a thing to lose.
How'd everything work out?
Almost as we planned it. But it seems our old friend Adobe Joe stumbled onto something.
Yeah?
You better follow him and make sure he doesn't find out too much.
All right.
Hey, snap out of it, Roy. What's the matter? Well, I'm worried about Dobie Joe. He promised to turn up at the hotel last night.
Well, that old sidewinder probably got himself lost out there in the hills.
Not Joe. He was on the trail of something mighty important. Something about this cattle feud. I should have gone with him in the first place.
Now, look, Roy, your first duty is to your job, not a bunch of rampaging cattlemen. You better stick to your own wavelength.
Say, that looks like Joe. By golly, that is Joe. I knew he'd turn up somehow before we got away. Hey, you mule Skinner!
Is it bad?
I'm afraid so.
Those shots came from over yonder.
Roy. Franklin. Ranchers. Winters outfit. Both friend. Bark. Bark.
Bark? Bark? Well, what's dogs got to do with this? Hey, Joe! Hey, Joe!
What's no use? We better get him to a doctor.
Hey, Roy, look!
You boys look after Joe. I'll take care of those two. They got away. But I found this. A cartridge case. Well, there's thousands of them around here. Well, there aren't 1,000 like this one. Defective firing pin. See? It left a mark like a half moon on the shell.
Now all you gotta do is find a rifle with a defective firing pin in it. That ought to be simple. Won't take you more than a couple of years.
Well, I'll find it. Are you crazy? We gotta get back to L.A. Well, I'm staying right here. Looks like the Lady of the Roses gets her wish after all.
back on the old job as deputy.
Well, thanks, Hal. I won't let you down. And I won't let Dobie Joe down either.
I understand, Roy. Know exactly how you feel. Maybe you figured that Joe and me weren't especially good friends. And all those arguments we used to have there, they didn't amount to anything. I loved that old sidewinder like a brother.
Remember now, this is a secret between the three of us. And as far as Duane County's concerned, I'm only sticking around here for my summer vacation.
I understand, Roy, and I'm glad to have you with me. I need a lot of help to get this mess straightened out.
Well, now, you just relax, Sheriff, because me and Roy will solve this thing and nothing flat.
You must be pretty good men. Got any leads?
A couple. First off, I'm going to call on a couple of young ladies. One very charming, and the other, well, she has possibilities.
You bet. You bet.
We're not hiring any cowboys this season.
Oh, but this is a social call, ma'am.
Yeah, we have a little matter to take up with Miss Winters.
Miss Penelope Winters. I think she's expecting us.
Well, come on in. I'll see if she's in.
Well, that's right. Kind of you, ma'am.
So you're what the public's going crazy about. A singing cowboy.
I resent that, ma'am. I'll have you know that in my day, I was one of the most daring riders of the range. Well, I've looked death right in the face.
That must have been pretty horrible for both of you.
Is Madam receiving today? Oh, of course, Christina. Show the gentleman in.
Hey, you can come in now.
Why, Roy, how nice of you to call. Oh,
Hey, call your shots.
got it?
Say, Penny, you've changed quite a bit since the last time we saw you.
Oh, you've noticed it, too.
Yes, and it's very becoming.
Becoming a nuisance.
I suppose you wanted to talk to me alone, didn't you, Roy?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did. Pat, wouldn't you like to take Christine out and show her Daisy?
Well, well, sure. It might be a novelty for both of them.
Who's Daisy?
My horse.
I've seen a horse.
Oh, do run along, Christina. The fresh air will do you good.
Your fresh airs aren't doing me so much good, young lady.
I'd be happy to walk out with you, ma'am. In fact, I've just learned a new serenade, and I'd like to sing it to you.
I can hardly wait.
Christina, what on earth?
Believe it or not, I'm going to listen to a serenade.
Oh, just a minute. Aren't you a friend of Roy Rogers?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Fine fellow, Roy. He's in there now entertaining your kid sister.
Oh, he is he?
She'll tune him out.
Penny,
Good afternoon, Miss Laramie.
of all the contemptible tricks, trying to worm yourself into the confidence of a little girl.
Little girl.
Well, I'm only trying to help.
We don't need your help. I think you'd better leave.
You got me all wrong. I'm only trying to get to the bottom of this thing.
You've already reached it, and it was very low indeed. Penny, go on upstairs and take off that ridiculous dress.
All right, but it's your dress.
Well, it's ridiculous on you. Now run along.
But Roy's got a theory. He doesn't believe we're to blame for what's been happening.
Oh, that's very sweet of you.
And I don't believe it's the rancher's fault either. Somebody wants to get you fighting for reasons of his own.
I'm afraid your years on the radio have affected your imagination.
If you could at least hear me out.
Let's keep running loose all over the pasture, man. Get going!
What's happened now?
Miss Winters, the wire's been cut again. The sheep are running loose all over the pasture land, the other side of the mountain. One of our gang just spotted the cattlemen stampeding the sheep.
You're sure of that, Barker?
Yes, and they're heading the sheep straight for the cliff on Music Mountain.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get out there and stop them.
Don't worry, we will.
Parker. Come on, Pat. Let's go help round up those sheep.
You stay out of this.
Lady, try to keep me out.
This is our affair, Rogers. We don't need your help.
This is no time for a private argument unless you want to lose all your sheep.
I think he's right, Slade.
be messed up if there's any gunplay.
Double-crossing your own friends, eh, Rogers?
No, I'm just trying to bring you to your senses before the United States government cracks down.
Well, that's very noble of you. But possibly you're influenced by the fact that the Winters Ranch is owned by a very charming young lady. Are we going to let Rogers get away with it, boys?
Better stay back there. This trigger finger's mighty nervous.
They're going to need some help. Marcy's raising my livestock have got to stop, or I'm going to take this thing into court.
We can settle this trouble our own way without any law.
If you can't keep your sheep off our grazing land, this trouble is bound to get worse.
Yeah, we ain't gonna have our pastures ruined by that Winters tribe. There's been enough trouble around here already.
You better help take back the sheep. And the next time you try and take the law into your own hands, just remember that we Winters have been in this valley a long time, and we intend to stay here.
We've been here a long time, too. It'll take more than this trout of yours to frighten us. Come on, boys.
Mr. Rogers, I don't know what to say.
Then why don't you just skip it?
Oh, I can't. It was really swell of you to help.
I was trying to help Marsh, too, Miss Winters.
Oh. Well, thanks anyway.
Pat, take a look at this.
Where'd you get it?
Woof, woof.
Oh, I get it. Barker.
Pat, I've got a hunch it'd be a good idea to stick around the Winters Ranch for a little while and see what's behind all this.
Not a chance. Those sheep folks ain't gonna play host us, cowboy.
Well, just the same, I'm going to be a guest at the Winters Ranch for a few days. Now, listen.
Help! Run away! Speak to me, Roy. Speak to me. Don't overdo it, you darn fool.
Is he badly hurt?
Looks pretty bad. I reckon we better get him back to your place right away.
Of course. Slade, help Mr. Brady.
Very grave. Very grave. The tibula and the fibula have gone haywire. The cerebellum has suffered a cranial cataclysm. I'm afraid myastheria gravis with necropsy might set in.
Gosh, is that bad?
It ain't good. Naturally, you laymen don't understand them medical terms, but it all adds up to this. I diagnose it as a concussion.
Well, what do you suggest, Pat? Should we send Roy to the hospital?
Oh, no, ma'am. He can't be moved from here for at least a week.
Oh, I see. Well, we'll do everything possible to make him comfortable.
Larmy, do you mean to say you're going to leave that cowboy in our best bedroom?
Christina, Roy was injured saving our livestock. That's the least we can do for him.
It certainly is.
Well, I think you'd better leave now.
All right.
Well, you old son of a gun, where'd you learn all those medical terms?
I used to room with a horse doctor.
Well, we fooled him all right. The next step is to lie low for a while till we dig up a few more clues.
I knew it. The flood.
Penny, you little rascal, I might have known I'd have to watch out for you.
Oh, I won't tell Roy. Honest, I won't. Because I know you're doing it for the cause.
You're right, Penny. I'm supposed to be a mighty sick man, so whoever's behind all this dirty business won't be expecting me to cause them any trouble.
Gee, this is exciting.
And you'd better keep our secret, young lady, or...
If I breathe even one word, may I never live to wear high heels. Hello, boys. Come in.
Hello, Miss Penny. As soon as we heard about Roy, we got over here as fast as we could. Yeah, the poor fella. I wonder how it feels to get a concussion and lose your mind.
You ought to know. You've been doing without one for years.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'm the brains of this outfit.
Well, tell Miss Penny what we're here for, brains.
Well, we figured Roy'd be in such a critical state he'd like to see his old pals.
And hear a song or two. Music's supposed to be good for invalids, you know.
I think he'd love it. I'll take you to his room.
Say, what is this, an invasion?
We're going to try to cheer Roy up with a little music.
That'll probably bring on a relapse. But go ahead.
Sure looks bad.
Yeah, maybe he's not long for this world.
He's 6 foot. That's long enough for any world.
Oh, Pat, you mustn't joke with Roy in this condition.
Look, he doesn't even move. Must be in a coma.
Coma? Looks more like a full stop.
Well, we came here to serenade him, so let's do it anyhow. It might bring him back to consciousness.
Come on, fellas, let's get into it.
What's the meaning of this disgraceful exhibition?
Well, you see, Miss Laramie, the boys figured a song might help bring him out of his coma.
That's right.
Coma?
Sure.
I heard Roy. He was singing.
No, you're mistaken, Miss Laramie. That was me.
Yeah, it was
Well, certainly it was. See? Old lay, old low, old shawl.
Beautiful girl, Laramie. You're wonderful. Must say sheep.
Oh, Roy! See what you've done, Laramie? You've made him delirious.
Well, then he should have the utmost quiet. Please, boys.
Laramie, nice girl. You're wonderful.
You're not so bad yourself, cowboy.
That ought to steady your nerves.
Oh, it ain't nerves. This is a bad deal with that singing cowboy parked on our ranch.
You got nothing to worry about. From what I hear, Rogers will be out of action for quite a while. When the government revokes those grazing licenses, my men are ready to step in and apply for new ones. And the only cattle that'll be grazing in this part of the country will be ours.
Sounds good. Hope it'll work.
It'll work. If the government gets evidence of one more brawl between the cattlemen and Laramie Winters, they'll crack down on both factions. And we provide the evidence.
I'm beginning to care for the wave in your hair, and there's something about your smile. I'm beginning to care for the clothes you wear, and your eyes have a twinkle worthwhile. I'm beginning to notice the things you do. I'm seeing the sweetness I look for in you. I'm beginning to see you everywhere. I guess I'm beginning to care. I'm beginning to notice the things you do. I'm seeing the sweetness I look for in you. I'm beginning to see you everywhere. I guess I'm beginning to care.
That's a very lovely song, Roy. Seems to me I've heard it before.
I used to sing it out on the range over at Music Mountain. That was when I was working for Dobie Joe.
But an invalid has no business being out here.
The best treatment for my case is a night like this, a little music, and a beautiful girl to keep me company. You still think I'm a no-good singing cowboy?
No, As a matter of fact, I think Penny was right. You're quite a guy.
Well, that's better. It was worth getting a confession to hear you say that.
Oh, I always treat my patients with consideration.
Hello, Penny.
Well,
Say, Penny, do you know where I can find Miss Laramie? I've got a little tribute for her.
she's up there with Roy.
Doggone that, Roy. He's always beating my time.
You mean you like my sister?
Like her? I think she's the most wonderful girl in the world. But what chance have I got?
That's just because you're so darn bashful. You've got an inferiority complex.
Is that what it is?
Well, if you don't assert yourself, Laramie'd forget all about Roy. After all, what's he got that you haven't got?
Come to think of it, what has he got that I haven't got?
And why don't you throw your hat in the ring? You don't have to take a backseat for Roy. Be a man.
By golly, I think I will. And thanks for the tip. I sure appreciate you taking an interest in me.
Think nothing of it, Pat. I just want to see you happy.
I'm beginning to care for the wave in your hair, and there's something about your smile. I'm beginning to care for the clothes you wear, and your eyes have a twinkle where...
Will you go away? You're worse than those cats we used to have around here.
I just saw him. Who? Wolfwood. I mean Barker.
This is it, Pat. They finally tipped their mint. Say, fella, you shouldn't get so excited. You're wringing wet with perspiration.
That ain't perspiration, that's love.
You certainly got a moon-eyed look tonight, young lady. I thought you had better sense.
Christina, I don't know what you mean.
Oh, yes, you do. It's a disgrace, that's what it is. A winter's falling in love with a cowboy. Barry, come here.
Tools marked with the Winters brand?
Yeah, good and big.
All right, pick the stuff up. What do you suppose they're up to?
Well, it's a cinch they're not going on a moonlight picnic.
All right, get busy. They're going to blow up the reservoir.
It's coming from over by the reservoir.
Slade, you get around quite a bit.
It's a good thing for you that I do. Otherwise, you'd find yourself in quite a jam. We just stopped Barker and some men from blowing up the reservoir.
Yeah? Well, where are they now?
They're gone.
Yeah, we sure spiked a neat little pot tonight. Look at these things. They're all marked with your brand.
Yeah, I see them, and the dynamite, too.
Barker was going to leave those here as evidence against your outfit.
No use your bluffing, Rogers.
I'm not the one who's bluffing. Did you hear those shots?
Sure, you heard us coming and fired a few to make it look good.
I've been telling you all along that this range war was a frame-up. Now I have proof.
It's a frame-up, all right. You've been working hand in glove with the cattlemen. They'd do anything to get us out of this territory. Why ought to...
Wait a minute, Slade. Let's hear what he has to say.
The day Dobie Joe was shot, I found this empty shell at the spot where he was ambushed. See that mark? It was caused by a defective firing pin. So I made it my business to find the owner of the rifle. And I found it at your ranch. And it was Barker.
Give me your rifle. You fellas move on out.
You're crazy, Rogers. Barker and I were together on the day Joe was shot.
That's possible.
I don't believe a word of it. Barker's been with my outfit for years. Why, he's one of the most loyal men my dad ever employed.
There you are, Miss Army. I saw you leave the ranch, and I followed as quickly as I could.
Slade, take his rifle and fire it. I want to see one of the shells. Your story's not quite convincing, Mr. Rogers. Take a look at that. I think Slade was right. You've been fighting on the side of the cattlemen all this time. Take them back to the ranch.
Thanks, but we don't care for no more of your hospitality.
Oh, but I insist. We'll call in Sheriff Darcy and have a nice, cozy chat.
Take his gun. Get going. Come on, you.
I won't move till I'm ready.
Will you move?
Well, I was ready.
And I want to prefer charges against Roy and his accomplice, Pat Brady. Seeds were planted at the reservoir by Rogers. Well, anybody can see that they're marked with the winner's brand. It's an obvious effort to incriminate me and my men.
Now, Laramie, it don't seem reasonable that a radio big shot like Roy is going around blowing up reservoirs.
Roy's a friend of the ranchers. He's trying to help them drive me out of Duane, and I demand his arrest.
Just a snack for our prisoners. After all, even condemned men must eat.
All right, go ahead.
Hello, Penny.
Sit down.
Don't you speak to me, you Judas.
No, that ain't no way for a young lady to talk.
When I think about how you sneaked into our home under false pretenses, just wolves in sheep's clothing. I mean, cowboy clothing.
That's a very pretty speech, Penny. I liked it, too, when I heard it in that movie.
When I think about your treachery, I grow weak. Oh, everything's going black before me.
Hey, look out!
I hope the judge gives you 50 years in prison, Mr. Rogers.
All right, I'll have a talk with Roy, but I still think you're making a mistake.
I know what I'm doing.
Who are you running for? You're the deputy. They can't put us in jail.
If whoever's promoting this trouble out here finds out I'm a deputy, he'll lie low for a while. But if he thinks I'm a fugitive, he'll come out in the open and we'll be able to nab him.
They're under guard in the guest room upstairs. I'll show you the way. This door is stuck.
Stuck? Why, it's locked.
Penny, you're an angel.
Oh, Roy, you know I'd do anything for you.
Thank you.
They tricked us. They're getting away.
Gosh, Laramie, that's terrible.
He brings a token to his love. Swift as the wind he goes high in the hills, he knows he's laden, singing Long, long ago in old Wyoming lived a maid, fair as the sweetest flower blooming in the glade. She loved a bandit bold who roamed the prairie o'er, and every night she'd listen for his call. Then far to the west his voice come ringing, riding a wild horse he come singing, He brings a token to his love. Swift as the wind he goes high in the hills, he knows he's laden, singing
You boys better pipe down before you disturb the rest of the wolves.
Oh, look who's talking. We got to do something to break the monotony.
Yeah, we've been cooped up here on Music Mountain for nearly a week and nothing's happened.
Well, your loafing days are over. I've just found the guy who's responsible for this phony cattle feud.
Yeah? Who?
Our esteemed friend, Mr. Marsh. I followed Slade and Barker last night, and they led me straight to his ranch.
Gosh, it worked out just like you figured. They got careless when they thought we were fugitives from the law.
Yeah. Now, here's the setup. They're going to stage a cattle raid that'll cause such a big brawl, the government will crack down on the entire valley and revoke the grazing permits.
It's getting so you can't trust nobody these days.
Now, here's my plan. We'll patrol the whole area and catch Marsh and Company red-handed. Then we'll have enough proof to put them in jail where they belong.
Where's Roy? He's looking around over on the east ridge.
Well, go get him while we get the other guys.
I'm going after him. the rest of Slade's gang?
We got them all grilled.
Me and Bob sort of persuaded them to do some talking.
Yeah, they not only put the finger on Barker and Slade, but they give us the lowdown on Marsh.
You got no authority to arrest us, Rogers.
Oh, yes, he has. He's Sheriff Darcy's new deputy.
We'll telephone the sheriff from Winter's Ranch.
I guess we lost him.
Yeah, we can pick him up later. The important thing now is to get to Winter's Ranch.
Rogers, the big deputy, is headed for the Winters Ranch to spill the whole story to Larmy Winters and Sheriff Darcy. Looks like we're sunk.
Not yet. If Rogers is riding from Music Mountain, we can get to the Winters Ranch before he does.
What good'll that do?
You just leave it to me. Rogers doesn't know it, but he's playing right into my hand. Miss Winters, we haven't got a minute to lose. Rogers and some of the ranchers are on their way here. They're going to raid your property.
I don't understand, Mr. Marsh. Why all this sudden change of heart? You've never been particularly worried about my welfare before.
Well, I'm a rancher. While I have no great love for you sheepers, I can't stand by and see women hurt. You better get your sister and Christina and get away from here. My men will give Rogers a warm welcome when he arrives.
If this ranch is in danger, my place is right here.
But they'll be shooting.
I'm staying here.
I better get Sheriff Darcy. Well, the line's dead.
Why, it's been cut, of course.
And we'll take care of Mr. Rogers ourselves. Christina, get Penny away from the house. I don't want her mixed up in this. I'll get her right away.
Penny! Penny! I can't find Penny anywhere.
Well, keep on looking. She must be somewhere around here.
Penny, what is it?
Marsh is at the house with Laramie. It's a trap. They're going to ambush you.
That's score one for Marsh. Boys, we better scatter. Hugh, you and Tim look after our pals here. The rest of you fan out, and when the shooting starts, aim high. Because Laramie and Christina are inside the house.
You come with me, Roy. I'll show you my own secret way to get in.
Okay. Thanks, Penny. You stay here. I'll take over from now on. Cover those men in the corner, Pat. Laramie? Looks like this is the end of Duane County's little range war.
No, it isn't. I suppose you cattlemen think you've won, but I'll keep right on fighting.
No, you won't. From now on, there's not going to be any more fighting. I'd like you to meet a very ambitious gentleman, Mr. Marsh here. He figured if he could get the rights to all the grazing land around here, he'd be one of the biggest cattlemen in the country, and he nearly succeeded. Because the folks around here were dumb enough to fall for that Pony Range war he started.
You got a good imagination, Rogers. I suppose that's what radio's done for you.
Think I can't prove it, huh?
Of course not.
Well, I'll just bring in Mr. Barker and a couple more of your men. They talk plenty. Celebrate, so I want you to take part in the program with me. I have a brand new song for you. It's called Don't Forget, Smiles Are Made Out of the Sunshine. I'd like to have you join me in the second chorus.
Don't forget, smiles are made out of the sunshine and the frown from a rainy day. You'll be more than repaid if you remember that a smile goes a long, long way. When trouble troubles you, just turn on the sun and watch how fast the melancholy cowboy can run. Don't forget, smiles are made out of the sunshine, and the smile goes a long, long way.
All right, folks, everybody join in. Those of you who have copies of the song, share them with your neighbors.